Hi everybody, I'm Paul Bryan. Welcome back to His Turn, Her Turn with the incredible Lauren Fix.
Hi, and today's question is the 2023 Hyundai Palisade the best value three-row SUV that's available? And that's an interesting question because there's a ton of competition in this class.
It's incredibly competitive in this market, and they keep improving it because they know they have to do things to stay competitive in that market. But right. Is it the best?
Well, we'll find that out. We'll also tell you what's new for 2023, so you want to stay with us as we take it through the mountains of Asheville, North Carolina, and you get to join us. So let's start with what's new for 2023. The first thing you're gonna notice is there's some obvious changes to the front end of the vehicle. You can see that the daytime running lights, that's an improvement right away.
Yeah, they're really pretty too.
Yeah, and then also you'll notice that the whole front grille has changed, but they've made a lot of changes in the Hyundai lineup across, and one of the biggest things is a new trim level, this XRT trim level. Right, so you're gonna get different wheels, blacked out, to be more rugged. Is it an off-road vehicle?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No, it's for going to BJ's. It's for going to Costco. It's for
taking
the kids to soccer. You know, that's what it's for.
Or to the airport.
Selling this as an off-road vehicle is like selling me as a decathlete.
Well, they have us do an off-road portion. You'll want to join us for that. But I think, why are they having us do that? Because they want to show it's capable and they want to show you the improvements on this vehicle. One of the improvements on the premium trim levels that we're driving is 20-inch alloy wheels. They're on Hankook all-season tires. And if you buy the XRT, you're going to get the blacked out wheels. Again, there are different wheel choices, but this one is the one they gave us. I thought it looked pretty cool.
You're going to see a lot of subtle and yet very tasteful design differences that they've done as well. The chrome treatment here, the chrome roof rail up here on the luggage rack, it's tastefully redone. It's really nice. It makes the whole thing look very good.
So one of the things you're going to notice right away is pretty obvious, these stacked headlights. And then you've got these DRLs, daytime running lights, that are here. But you'll also notice this matte polished grille is all new, larger Hyundai logo, which is where they hide those new safety features. And there's a lot of new safety features that they have added to the Hyundai Palisade. You also notice this front lower splitter here, and they've really thought about making it look good, but also cooling this engine because it has a 5,000-pound towing capacity.
The back end isn't all that dramatically different, but what they have done is integrated with an LED into the top spoiler here, what's called a CHMSL, a center high mount stoplight, so that when you hit the brakes, it goes all the way across that way like that. Looks pretty cool at night. Also got a different setup in the tail lights here. I like this design a little bit better than the other ones. Not that there was really anything bad with the other ones, but these feel good. And then all the way across in the back here too. Got some minor changes going on here. This is a handsome car. One
thing to note in the back is the new dual exhaust. They're square tubes. Looks kind of cool and makes the exhaust sound just a little bit nicer. Under the hood is an Atkinson Cycle 3.8-liter V6 engine with direct injection, 291 horsepower, 262 pound-feet of torque. It has an updated 8-speed automatic transmission, and it's available in 2-wheel drive or H-Track 4-wheel drive. That all-wheel drive system will also give you a towing capacity of up to 5,000 pounds. 0 to 60 time, 7.6 seconds. Fuel economy, 22 miles to the gallon combined. When it comes to cargo space, there is 18 cubic feet of storage with the third row up. Put that 60-40 split third row down and you've got 45 cubic feet of storage. Then put that second row down flat and you've got 86 cubic feet of storage, which is quite a bit. And best of all, there is power buttons here, so you don't have to hurt your back pulling up the seats and pushing them down. Here in the second row, we have captain's chairs. Now remember, this vehicle can hold 7 or 8 if you choose to go with the bench seats. With the captain's chairs, you're at 7. You've got pockets behind each of the seats, and of course you've got heated and ventilated seats in the second row, which is great, and that's not typical in this price point. Of course, you got your climate control, 12-volt, and your regular wall outlet. In the door, you have 2 cup holders and your audio system and manual sunshades. As far as movement, you can recline the seats. Of course, they can move back and forth. There are 2 child safety latch systems. In the 3rd row, if you move this seat forward, there's enough leg room for adults. You'll notice that the seats also recline. In the 3rd row, there are no child safety latch systems, but there is 3 stage heated seats and 2 USB-C charging ports on each side, 2 cup holders, and there's no other storage back here. So it's not the penalty box, but it's important to note that there's enough room to put adults back here. To get out of the 3rd row, there's a button here on top of the 2nd row. Press that button, seat goes forward, and you can get out. Well, I got an opportunity to drive around the Biltmore property and out onto the roads with Paul, and I agree that there are really no driving changes. I think it handles the same. I know the transmission has been upgraded slightly. Still the drive modes that you might want: Comfort, Eco, Sport. Of course, I have it in Sport as well, but we have driven it in all the modes except for snow, which we'll get a chance to do during our winters. In the meantime, some of the changes, starting with safety. You've got some new rear occupant safety. You still have your cameras from your turn signals, which I think is one of the genius ideas of this vehicle. In addition, they've added more forward collision warning sensitivity. You've got front cameras, you've got corner cameras, so that if you're in an intersection making a left turn and somebody runs a light, which we just saw a few minutes ago, you can actually be protected. The car will stop. It'll intervene and protect you from being part of an accident, which I think is good because people don't pay attention. But beyond that, we're getting slowly toward a little bit more of the car protecting you and not just the driver. You can adjust those all in the center screen. Speaking of which, we have a brand new center screen. It's 12.5 inches. It is much crystal clearer than it was before, although I don't think it was bad at all. You've got all of your information. Map navigation can be accessed through the buttons here, or you can use the touch screen, which I appreciate because some brands don't let you touch the screen. So as far as getting to that, you've got all of your settings here, real easy to use. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto is now wireless in this car, which it didn't have before. So as Paul was saying, mid-cycle refreshes are adding those things in that consumers are saying, I'd like to see this changed. And that includes the steering wheel and making the buttons easier to read. Also, don't forget that Harman Kardon audio. There's 12 speakers. If you are an audiophile like Paul, you will love the audio system. It is really nicely balanced in this vehicle, and the speakers are well integrated. They did a really nice job, and this is getting to be more and more to look like a Genesis from the inside. I find that they've really upgraded the interior. Now, as far as visibility, one of the big things they added, big in my opinion, is this rear view mirror. Flip the switch, and it's now a camera, which is good if you got people in the 3rd row. You've got cargo in back, whatever it might be. This is really great for not hitting things. And there's also an intervention on that as well. As far as seating, there's lumbar in the passenger seat. Right, Paul?
There is.
Yes.
It's here.
It's here, but there's only massaging on the driver's seat. They call it ergo motion. And if you press...
I'm filing a grievance. Absolutely.
So when you press the button on the driver's seat only, you get ergo motion, pelvic, lumbar, whole body, or off. And that's just a nice thing for long trips so the driver doesn't fall asleep. Of course, you've got that alert system as well. Overall, there's a lot of changes, but they're minute changes. So if you're looking at a 22 to a 23, what you really gain, in my opinion, is improved safety. And that's really good because you're hauling precious cargo.
Had about a half hour behind the wheel of the new Palisade. It's a mid-cycle refresh, and you may hear people talking about that. What that means is that the car came out a couple of years ago, and they learned things that they either planned on advancing in the car or discovered after they launched it the first time. So this has a lot of really nice upgrades to it and additional options that are available, like the XRT package that we're going to talk about. It's not on the high end where the calligraphy is. It's set right in the middle where the bulk of the sales are for this vehicle. The interesting thing about where those sales are, we'll get into on the close because that's really important. But from a driving perspective, they've taken a car that is, face it, they want to say it's a off-road or part-time off-road thing. It's such a minuscule percentage of people who are going to do that. This is a soccer hauler. This is a grocery getter. And it does it in a really incredibly value-oriented proposition. So even with that, you've got wonderful options in the car. All of the different drive modes that you've got. The thing that I really found nice is that when you go into sport mode, which is where I like to keep vehicles just because it's a little more taut, not only does it change the valving on the shocks and everything, the way the car handles, but also you get a little extra hug from the bolsters on the seat. I like that extra support. One of the things that I like a real lot in Hyundai products, and I'm seeing it more and more in the industry, is the auto hold feature. Auto hold means when you stop and you have your foot on the brake, you don't have to hold your foot there in order for the car to maintain position. And then, and you'd say, geez, that's a feature? You really get spoiled by it. I like it a lot. But the thing where this goes a step further that I like a lot is that if you are in that mode and the car in front of you then takes off, it gives you a little beep. And for as much as I am the anti-beep king of the world, I hate all that stuff. This one is actually valuable.
I like it too. I think it's
like this.
Great asset.
Yeah. The steering wheel has been redesigned. I can't say that it's dramatically different from the past one, but it's got nice controls in here and stuff. I like where everything is placed, and I like that it's white on black for the controls. Now that may change in the calligraphy. I'll have to take a look at that as well, because it's easier to read these controls than it was in the last model. Mm-hmm. So other than that, darn nice car to drive. I'm enjoying it a lot. This segment is chock full of competitors.
Absolutely, including its sister company,
Yeah.
Kia, with what they call the Telluride or the Telluride, and we have looked that over. You want to check that out on our channel.
Yeah, but think of everything that's
Oh my
in
God.
here. You've got
Pathfinder, Highlander,
Explorer, Atlas,
Yes.
the VW Atlas.
Pilot. Oh my God,
I mean,
everybody's got a vehicle in this category.
Well, why?
Because this is what people want. They want 3 rows with the ability to make it 2 if they need to.
Exactly. So you've got one here that starts 34 Gs.
Right. But then you load it up and you want that cool trim package, that new XRT trim.
You're going to find the majority of them that I've seen on dealer lots are going to go in the 45 to 49 range.
Right. That's
You
almost the
can't-
top.
You can top it out at 52.
That's pretty well loaded, though. I mean, you're looking at
No,
like
and that's all
premium
the way.
luxury at that
I
point.
mean, you know, after that you get a driver with it.
Yeah.
But the point is that at 52, to match what you're getting here in some of the others,
There's certainly
Yeah.
a wide swath of pricing.
you're going to be writing a bigger check.
Right, and once you get into that $50,000 range, there's other cars to look at. There's other German competitors and other luxury like Range Rover and things
Sure.
like that. So I mean, you really need to start thinking about the whole package. But there's a lot of pros to this vehicle. I mean, one of the things I thought was impressive was 3 rows of space for adults. Typically, the third row is like the penalty box, which I don't think it is in this case. I think they did a really good job.
No, I got back there and didn't need didn't need help getting out, and that's important.
Right.
But-
Safety for sure is 100% standard on this car.
You know, and the other thing too, you're still working with that Hyundai warranty.
Can't beat the Hyundai Kia warranty, that 10-year, 100,000 mile, and then unlimited roadside service for 7 years. I mean, the unlimited miles, that's crazy.
Are we answering our own question?
I think we might be answering the question, which is this the best 3-row value SUV? Well, I would say it goes head to head with the Kia, and this is a problem a lot of consumers have. They drive the Kia, they drive the Palisade, they like both, but there's always that little something that makes you pick one or the other.
Well,
It's
you
a
know,
look.
this is,
The looks are
this
different.
is also why Baskin-Robbins has 31 flavors.
Good point.
So if you find the thing that trips your trigger,
Yeah.
in any of these, but especially between the Palisade and the Telluride,
Right.
then do it. I mean, come on, they're kissing cousins.
They are. I mean, and you look at Genesis, which is the luxury.
The luxury model.
You
of
can
it.
get into an entry-level G80, and you're going to be in that same size category.
Yeah.
So It's also something to consider.
Yeah, but there the style changes pretty radically.
Huge, yes, huge
Yeah,
difference.
it
But
really jumps.
you'll see a lot of the similarities in those three vehicles as far as like sharing technology. And like, for example, my favorite, which is the lane watch. You put on your turn signal and it shows you those blind spots.
I
Save
still
your
think
butt.
that is the coolest thing.
I agree.
Of all of the nanny stuff that
That we hate and shut off.
we hate and shut off as soon
Yep.
as we get into a car.
Mhm.
That's the one thing that I think is just astonishing that the rest of the industry has not somehow stolen that.
I'm surprised. At one point, Honda had the lane watch, and then they stopped doing it. It was only
Yeah.
for the right side.
Yeah.
But the fact is, they should have kept it because this is one of the best features. Of course, you've got the Smart Park, which is, you remember from the Super Bowl commercial, but it works if you really want to use it. It's more of a toy, I
Yeah.
think, for me, but because I don't usually park in tight parking garages, which we are in, by the way, because it is raining like crazy here for the last 2 days. And we wanted to show you the new vehicle and some of the changes, which includes, of course, the technology and the safety. So I think the answer to the question that this is one of the best choices for a three-row SUV value.
I can't argue with you.
I know, and
You know,
usually we don't agree, but in
Yeah.
this case, I think we're in agreement. And as far as negatives, I think it could handle a little bit more nimble. You look at the German cars like the Volkswagen and the Atlas, it's German, so it's going to handle this a little bit differently.
It's gonna be tighter, yeah.
Yeah, a little better handling.
Yeah,
but
but
the average person's not going to be driving
Yeah.
this other than to the mall and whatever else.
You know,
So we get
when,
that.
When you put in your 18 pack of Charmin, it's not going to matter.
Right. For the toilet paper shortage.
Yeah.
We have driven all of the competitors, and
Yep.
you can check that out on the Car Coach Reports channel. If you want to get a hold of Paul or myself, you can check out our social media. It's listed down below in the description, as well as our podcast, the book, and the website, which we all have content there as well. And we have other contributors, so you can get other opinions. If you got value from this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this one, and please share with your friends.
We like to interact with you too. So please, if you have questions, go ahead and do it. It's not like we say, ask us a question, then we're going to shine you on.
No, we actually answer the questions. Paul and I will respond
Yeah.
because we didn't cover every single detail, or we'd probably be here like 2 hours. But we thank you so much for your time and watching, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time.